Look at that.
Oh, it's leaking out like crazy.
This thing's ruined. So while mindlessly scrolling TikTok and avoiding my duties as an adult, I came across this pretty awesome video of a dude named The Donkey turning discarded epoxy into rocks and making a sick table out of it. This video has 1.6 million views. I think this dude did an awesome job, and it's a great use of like old discarded resin. So I'm gonna give this sucker a try. So The Donkey did a pretty awesome job of building something cool. And I mean, he's just got your normal looking waterfall river table here. This is where all the rocks are gonna go. I wanna do the waterfall as well, because I think it's a cool effect to like see the rocks spilling over the edge here. To get that, we're probably gonna go with something that's like 40-60. We're gonna need to make an 80-inch mold by like 25 to 30 inches wide. My biggest concern here is that once we get the slabs inside, bubbles could potentially pop up from underneath them.
Don't fuck with me, Bubbles.
We'll put all of our rocks in. We'll pour the deep resin, which should look really cool. Everything should mill just like we're milling a normal epoxy table in case something comes poking through the top. Should go fairly smooth. The last thing that we're dealing with is a little bit of like it's getting warmer out, so we've got to make sure the epoxy temperature and all that stuff's controlled. I think I got a solution for that. I guess the next thing I need to do is make some rocks and build a mold. What do you think, Ron?
I know more than you.
I agree. So in order to be awesome, we're gonna need to make some rocks. So more or less, I'm just gonna pour a couple kits with some pigment in them and then let them harden, and we should be able to turn them into rocks. At least that's what I've derived from the video. So I'm gonna use this gold. I have no idea how much, so don't ask. I'm just gonna wing it. I want these to be like solid though. No light coming through. So should be a pretty good amount, and we'll just kind of see what the resin looks like here. And this cobalt blue is pretty gnarly. Originally, I was just gonna leave them in the buckets and then pop it out, but that depth has me concerned that it's gonna crack, which I don't care if it cracks, but I don't want it to melt the bucket. So I forgot we had some of these pans from Empire Molds, so we'll just pour them in here. It'll work just as well. Probably make it a little easier to turn into rocks too. Woo! While that stuff dries, I've busted out this super wonky oak slab that I milled by hand in a backyard somewhere and dried myself. Had no clue what I was doing, but it should be a good experimental piece. And having some like twisted slabs, typically you can make them work in epoxy tables because by cutting them in half, you take a lot of twist out. So I'm gonna cut this sucker in half, cut it down to length, prep it for the mold to the bandsaw. These are still super wonky. What I'm gonna do is cut off of both ends. I can cut a lot of that out and then hopefully with some surfacing, alleviate a little bit of that pressure. That's one of the benefits of having a longer piece and cutting things like as big as you possibly can. This thing's the best. It's so absurd. Let's knock the bark off and see if I can get a bottom to be flat. Oh, around the bend. Can we get a clean break? Let's go. 70 inches on the dot. Is it good enough for the wall?
I think it's record.
Is it? I don't know. Looks like it is. We acknowledge our useless accomplishments around here, excuse us. This is very important to the betterment of the team. Sorry, Jordan. Daddy's home. Here's our table. Fill it with rocks. That'd be pretty cool. I'm gonna joint the bottoms and then we're ready to pour, I think. Well, clean up the edges a little more, but you know what I'm saying. Stop staring at those beautiful slabs. It's a different project. You'll have to subscribe. All right, I don't know what it is, but it's wonky. I wasn't gonna plane these, but I am gonna plane them now. If we can get our finished thickness to 1.5 inches, I'll be happy. Awesome figure. It's gonna look cool. All right, we're all cleaned up. I always do that. I cut them so rudimentarily when I cut them by hand, like with a jigsaw, that they're not square.
There she goes.
You can kind of see a little bit of how the twist came out. So we're ready to pour, and I mentioned that I am a little bit apprehensive in regards to deep pours, especially when we're doing clear stuff because bubbles ruin it all. So in order to fix that, there's two things you need to do. One, regulate the temperature of the room and the temperature of the epoxy, and two, be more awesome. And what's more awesome than a mini split to do both of those? So we're gonna install this thing. Mr. Cool just sent this over. It's gonna give us perfect control of the room temperature. So let me tell you about Mr. Cool while I get this thing installed. I was blown away by how easy this was. No joke, it comes with a literal video walking you through everything you need to know to install the unit. It also has written instructions that are super simple. I got this thing installed and running in like 3 hours, and I'm an idiot. So for most of you out there, it could probably be so much faster. Everything except the electrical you can do on your own, and they build the entire thing with the intent of the DIYer putting it in. It's absolutely amazing. Not to mention, the thing works incredibly. We turned it on and the room was absolutely freezing, and my entire team was just standing in there like a bunch of penguins in an ice box cooling off because it was so awesome. I'm super excited to be able to regulate the temp in our room for epoxy pouring specifically, but if you have a garage or you have any kind of space that needs its own temperature control, no doubt this is like the best option out there. I'm blown away by it, and I highly suggest it to you, and I'm super grateful that Mr. Cool sponsored this build. So make sure you're checking them out. I got everything you need linked down below. Now let's go see how the epoxy is doing in its brand new chili room. So our epoxy is cured. Looks pretty rad. We should be able to get some rockish forms. Now the dude,
I'm the dude.
the donkey I should say, he just like breaks off chunks and makes rocks. Like that. He claims it's the fastest way.
Ow!
You all right?
You hit with debris.
War zone in here. There we go. So I mean, I guess you just like,
This doesn't look very efficient.
I don't know.
Oh, there you go. That's a good one.
Yeah. And I guess we're just kind of looking for some like rock shapes. I don't know. I feel like there's a better way to do this. 1 second. Damn it! I don't know why I thought this would be more efficient, but it's definitely more fun. This is a bit terrifying. Watch your nuts, Lou. God bless America. They're like, maybe this one's thinner. I'm gonna try this one. Ready? Hey! Unbelievable! Everyone that says like epoxy tables are just gonna like, that sucked. All right, we need, go get a bunch of sledgehammers.
Yes!
Do it the traditional way. Hey! That was sick.
That was awesome.
Finally, something to get him excited. Making cool shit gets him excited. Just watch your fucking eyes, everyone. Yeah! Get that anger out.
Oh, damn, man. Hit the center.
This is just one of those boss moments when they're having this much fun, you just let them go. Just let them go. Just try not to break any windows.
Oh, that was so cool.
As I spread them out, there's still like a bunch of dirt and debris, and that is not good when you're trying to do a clear pour. All that stuff floats around. I'm gonna get a good Keller dispersion, not have too much in one spot. See like all these chips. Let's try this. Reserve shop vac. Nothing is as easy as it seems on the internet. All right, so I think I really like this layout. It's as random as I could get it. We even got some rocks left over. Maybe we have ourselves a little party. Gotcha. But what I'm kind of doing here is I'm leaving some of them proud because in the video, the donkey talks about how, because it's all resin, we can level everything out. And I really like that aspect of kind of using these this way because it allows me to just get some weird geometric looking thingy going here.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
So next step, I'm just gonna send it with 3 gallons of resin, see if it's enough. Hopefully it doesn't like blow everything away. Hopefully I didn't break the mold putting this together. Catastrophic disaster could ensue. Let's go. So to try to avoid bubbles, I'm gonna degas it, and we can only fit like a gallon in at a time. So I gotta do this. And then into our degassing chamber. Bleep. See this gooiness? What the f is that? Table. We are f***ed. Something's wrong. Something is wrong. I don't know who to blame or what to blame. But we've got like these weird, they look like boogers. It honestly looks like the resin is like already hardening, which is not good because that means imminent flames are coming. It still might look decent, but if you don't know how long your resin's been on the shelf, don't use it. Note to self. Okay, well, I'm gonna go get a beer.
In my opinion, that sucked.
Let's check this sucker out. So, interesting. That's all I'm gonna say. There's some sticky spots on here, which I do not understand. Can you over degas? Does anyone know if you can over degas? Because I feel like I did. And if you come check out this part, see these like bubbles down here? They make absolutely 0 sense. And when I push on this, see that little squiggle right there? Look at these like surface bubbles. See that sucker growing in there?
Yeah, that's weird.
Right? If there's like pockets of air, that's never happened. So either air got captured in the slab or something, but you never like seeing sticky on top. I'm gonna crack this thing out of the mold, give it another look, and then kind of go from there. Dude, come here. It is just pissing. Dude, I must have got like nowhere close to a good mix or something went wrong. Like, I've never had that happen before. Oh, it's everywhere. This thing's ruined. We're having to do this whole damn thing again. All the mistakes I've made, never has it been a poor mix. Now we gotta see the damage. It's crazy because it's the bottom layer.
Oh yeah, you can see the bubbles.
So they just like seep in there. Because we had to pour it in 2 pours. Look at that.
Oh, it's leaking out like crazy.
It's the whole,
Oh no.
oh no.
Oh,
Give me-
bad idea.
Dude, it's like I didn't mix the bottom. You know what? We're gonna have to check the tape to see how I screwed this up. But there's only one place for this. It's just $1,000 in the trash. It's like it's liquid still. Boy. Nope, you get in there, you. YouTube videos. All right, let's go check the tape.
Damn it! I just checked the footage and there's no reasonable explanation on why I screwed this up. I was probably just hurrying and didn't put enough of one of the components in there. Who knows? Should probably slow down because slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Grab you one.
All right, kids, so I tried to pour more epoxy when we made this mold to then pour just like a regular rocks river, and I'm having some resin issues. We had to re-inventory our catalog of deep pour stuff. I think some of it just got a little old. So with that being said, we do have some of our original chunks left over still. So I'm gonna break these up smaller, and we're gonna attempt the original idea again with these different colored ones, except this time I'm gonna break them up into even smaller pieces so they're not so like jutting out and stuff. And to do that, I'm gonna put them in a pillowcase and go beat the living shit out of them. Let's go. Pillowcase made a great option. All I was trying to do was avoid the cleanup. It sucked last time, and they got so dirty. Maybe we go with more of like a this. I'm stronger than the axe. Back inside. Let's see what we got here. I'm more or less, it's like, this is good, but I think it's too big for what we want. So I gotta do this BS. Entire project is not for the faint of heart, because it is insanely time consuming. Even when you're not as dumb as me, making all kinds of stupid mistakes. So I'm gonna chop up a bunch of these, clean them up, and then get these into a table. We got a couple oak slabs that we have laying around. We're going smaller this time because I don't know why, but I keep screwing up. I'm gonna try to keep it a little bit cleaner. Who am I kidding? No, I'm not. It'd be kind of cool to get all three in there, huh? I like it. It's weird, but it's mine. Now we're gonna see if I can appropriately mix epoxy, because I've never done that before. Here we go, for like the umpteenth time. 2-to-1, resin. We got some brand new Fathom from Total Boat. I asked them to send it over because I done messed up the last one. Resin, hardener. All right, round 2.
Fight.
This piece of wood has a little bit of rot going on too, so this should be good for stabilization in that. We got a bunch of frickin' flakes. Ooh, they all got stuck on the bottom, nice. I don't know how much epoxy I'm using anymore. I'm just losing my mind.
1 week later.
All right, our table is finally hard. Stay hard. So we need to mill this sucker down. With all this stuff sticking up, I think we want to kind of trim it down. I'm thinking the bandsaw is going to be our best bet here. What bandsaw did you think I was talking about? Obviously, we got Hank McCoy. Let's go. That couldn't have gone better. Let's get her demolded and get her a real flattening now. Now this is typically where things either go great or terrible. Haha. Oh, I see one. Damn, I even put mold release on. Oh wow, how did I miss those? Camouflage. I think once it's polished up, it could look pretty cool. I wish my attempt at trying to make the gray rocks after these blue and gold and silver ones worked, because that would have looked pretty rad. Nope, we're one and done around here. So we got a pretty hefty bow here, so I had to shim this thing up. It's kind of like the price I pay for using absolute trash slabs. So we're gonna try to keep this thing as thick as we can. Chris is putting the slab slayer on right now. Look at that beaut. Woo! Let's rip. All right, we're off the machine. Now I'm gonna bust out the big boy toys to save some time, but all we're gonna do is sand this sucker up to 220 grit and then start polishing. I gotta say, it looks pretty cool. Check this out. Chris and I were just talking. They're like, kind of like, I don't know, what are we calling it? Holographic looking so far, which is kind of neat. I'm gonna cut the table down to size and then get a quick base put together, sand it to probably at least 400 grit. All right, I'm gonna get a hit with a couple coats of lacquer. We're sanded up to 400. And in the words of my dad, shut up and get back to work. But other people like to say, let us spray. So I just got this thing out of finish. It ended up looking awesome, so I didn't need to buff anything. It's nice and clear in the center, and I'm really stoked about how it's looking. I gotta say, I'm very impressed with like how nice this thing looks, because I thought it was a ridiculous idea. The donkey absolutely nailed it on this one. Really cool way to use up old epoxy if it dries and you wanna go through the hassle of making it into rocks. Awesome stuff. If I was to do it again, I would do a like very solid color in the rocks instead of the transparent ones that I did. But hey, you live and you learn, right? If you like this video, leave a comment down below and let me know, what are we gonna build next?